Number 5, verbal abuse. So this is where things are really obvious. It can be range from, more overt types of slinging insults at you, telling you what a whore you are, what an asshole you are, telling you to fuck off. The tone of voice is very important because they can be telling you very nice things, but in a very angry tone of voice, right? So you got to listen to it. Your body will tell you. Your body will tell you when you're feeling abused. And then there can be the more covert types where, as we were saying earlier, oh, you look really beautiful today, but you could, I don't know, like this skirt makes you look a little overweight, you get the point. Another form of verbal abuse, counterintuitive, this one is silent treatment. It's an absolutely torturing, awful kind of manipulating another person. Usually happens if you're having one of those emotionally charged arguments and you refuse to give in and you feel like, all right, yay, I got this one, right? You feel good. And then you try to continue communicating to them and they just don't talk to you. They say, well, if you're acting like this towards me, if you don't give me what I want, you're getting nothing. And it can go sometimes for days, and it's devastating because immediately you're hit with a wall of guilt, and you're stuck, and it feels just awful. It gets to the point where they almost want you to, they want you to be in a place where you're like, just say anything, just yell, scream, shout, throw things against the wall, just as long as you communicate. And that is, my dear viewers, precisely the place where they want you. It's really sad, but they want you to give in, so that's why they use that. All right, next one, digital abuse. Okay, this one ranges from cyber stalking, so it's kind of on the invisible side where you don't know what they're looking at. They are following your posts, your Twitters, perhaps you have written blogs before, you have written things before you posted them. They are going to go back there and look at it. They're going to check out and map out who are your closest friends, what is your closest circle. This can happen even prior to you officially getting really close with the narc. So they may want to do a bit of a background research on you so that when you come together on your next date, they will be that much more suitable. They will seem that much more suitable to you because they would have already found out the things you like, the things you like to write about, the issues you're concerned with, and so on. This can, of course, go on until after a breakup. And in order to prevent cyber stalking, I just highly recommend, as pretty much everyone else who's tackling these issues here online is recommending, and that is to just cut off contact, block them from everything and anything, as well as their friends, their so-called friends, so you have some privacy. There's subtleties and nuances with this. Sometimes you may need to completely delete an account, start a new one. That is all just depends on you, depends on the situation you're in. Another form of abuse here in the digital domain is when, here I wrote this down, yes, when they idealize you in front of your friends on Facebook. So say you're still in the early stages, they take a bunch of selfies with you, a bunch of pictures, show how much in love with you they are, and they start to tag you, and all that stuff shows on your wall to also showcase to your friends how much they care about you. They're doing that so that once they either discard you or you leave, they have an argument to start a smear campaign against you, to take your friends and put them against you, exactly, set them up. So they're saying, how can you say this or that about Betty or John? They're so sweet, they were so nice, look how in love with you were. Also to trigger those sentimental feelings in you when you look at those things. And also use them as a hoovering tactic to come back around and say, remember those good times, send you maybe a photo and this and that. Anyway, it's all to dysregulate you, it's all to manipulate you emotionally, it's all to put you back in that state of missing them, right? Missing them. When you break away from a narc, it's awful what happens, because on one hand you absolutely loathe them, you hate them for what they have done. They're just the worst of the worst abusers. They have eviscerated you. They have turned you inside out and destroyed you. They may have even wanted you to kill yourself. You know, I've seen videos about that. Like, it's just terrible what's happening there, right? But on the other hand, your brain that is trying to protect you from all these negative, horrific feelings and memories is also surfacing all of these wonderful memories, right? So you remember when you were hiking together, and when you were making love, and when things were wonderful, when he or she made a dinner for you. And it's like you're in this conflict. It's back to that cognitive dissonance, and it's literally tearing you apart. It's very difficult. So avoid digital retriggering, digital abuse, block them if you can. And even in the early stages of your relationship, be careful as to what sort of access you allow them to, until you go through the trial period, which could take a few months, and you begin to feel more and more comfortable with the person you're with. Right? This is a note to self for the future. All right, number 7. Now this one is very sensitive, and it ranges in manifestation, and that is sexual abuse.